Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto. Hope you're having a good one. So, last night we covered a lot of stuff. A lot of things around tokenization. We'll get to that in a little bit. And what are real world assets versus what are not real world assets. But let's get into the news first. BlackRock invests $47 million in a company called Securitize. Why? The name of the company is a hint. They are neck deep into tokenization. Neck deep. We should definitely be making note of those things. Why? Because tokenization is going to be a very big deal. A very big deal. If I'm looking at, investing in a real estate investment trust or a REIT as they are known, I am going to pay attention to whether or not I can do that via tokenization, meaning I can use crypto to make that purchase. Now, that changes the whole business model. And if you look at what's going on with regard to the infrastructure, this is what I'm talking about. Securitization or tokenization. Securitize is the company, but tokenization is the process. Imagine what things change when we do that. Up, come here. Come here, boy. There you go. That's my boy. If all that happens with regards to tokenization, and I hate it when you knock your tail on things. When you look at securitization and how that all works, tokenization or how all that works, think about the industries that would do well with tokenization and how tokenization will disrupt those industries. I just gave you one, real estate investment trusts. Something else that can really catch your attention is, anything substantial in terms of sales, like cars, homes, rentals, just all of these different things, services, all of these different things. A while ago, I told you about how Alfa Romeo and other car manufacturers are actually using crypto to track, service on vehicles. Now imagine if you could track ownership. Imagine what that would do to real estate for, title searches. Imagine if you could search a title right there via blockchain. See what I mean? So once that's all figured out and it comes to pass, there are going to be serious upheavals in those industries. Because once property becomes tokenized, how hard is it to do a title search? Do you know what I mean? Just those different pieces are what's going on. Now, had a conversation with somebody last night about the world assets and tokenization. And they were like, well, stable coins are real world assets. No, they're pegged to a real world asset. And they happen to be pegged to fiat or a country's, money. That does not make them real world assets or tokenized real world assets. There's a difference between what a stable coin is and what a tokenized asset is. Tokenized asset is now tokenized, meaning it's being tracked on blockchain, right? That's just pegged to, let's say, the dollar, like USDC is pegged to the dollar. It's pegged to a real world asset, but it doesn't represent that real world asset. That's the difference. A tokenized asset is the token represents that real world asset. So what you would do with that real world asset is what you can do with this. It's been transferred to this. So just wanted to get that out there. Now, something that caught my attention. MicroStrategy. A while ago, MicroStrategy said, we are a software development company and we're developing software for the blockchain, specifically, obviously, Bitcoin. News to me. News to me. I didn't think they'd move this fast, but that tells me that they had already made the pivot, right? When they made that announcement, they had already made the pivot and were knee deep in it. And then they turn around and just announce MicroStrategy Orange, a decentralized identification protocol built on top of Bitcoin almost in the fashion of inscriptions. I'm definitely going to have to take a look at that. That's definitely something I'm going to have to get into. I find that to be interesting. Because what they're saying is they know a decentralized world is coming. A decentralized world is here. I guess it just means it's expanding. What else is going on? Big news. And I touched on this last night. Jack Dorsey's block is being investigated for money laundering. I mean, just all kinds of, was it AML issues, which lends the platform to money laundering? Something else that I believe they're being investigated into is the idea of them providing exchange services without being called an exchange. So I think that's something else that they're looking into as well. But either way, I'm going to be looking at Block in a major fashion. Block is, because if you look at Cash App is a major on-ramp for Bitcoin, right? Which means it's for crypto, because when I go and I on-ramp my money using Cash App to purchase Bitcoin, I can instantly send it off. Excuse me. I can instantly send that off. Buy it, send it. That's real fast. So for all those people that are looking at Cash App right now, there's a new thing where they're saying, oh, you have to verify who you are, whether you're personal or business, what your name is, what your address is. But anti-money laundering? Yeah. How do you build that in? So they're going to have to, I'm pretty sure they're going to have to look into that, because it's not that the company is laundering money actively. It's that their software can be used to launder money, right? Because I can snatch up some cash, throw it onto a card, use that card to fund Cash App, buy some Bitcoin, and now it's all done. Send off that Bitcoin, it's off to the races. Money came in, money came out, money came in, money came out. When you think about the number of accounts that can be used, it's not all that difficult. It's what they used to do to banks, right? Go inside, open up an account, deposit X amount of money, open up several different accounts at different banks, have many different people do it, deposit the money, right? Then send the money off. Do that for a period of time until that bank account gets a little hot. Close down the bank account, keep it moving. So there's a lot to look at in that space. I would think that we'd be looking at Block, for those reasons. And then, like I said, my question was always, how is Block allowing you to buy Bitcoin? How is Block's new program? So the idea of buying Bitcoin and flipping Bitcoin for you, maybe that's not such an exchange move, but you getting a sale as a business, you getting a sale and taking a percentage of that sale and flipping it into Bitcoin for you automatically. Okay, that can be exchange level stuff, right? So paying attention to that. Something else that I'm paying attention to, the outflows from the Bitcoin Spot ETFs. The outflows from the Bitcoin Spot ETFs reached above $500 million. 563 million. And for the first time at, I think, 36 million and change, included BlackRock's Bitcoin Spot ETF. It was the first time in 77 days that they recorded outflows. It was bound to happen. It was bound to happen. So paying attention to it all, I looked at it and I said, oh, this is for me? For my bag? These are buying opportunities. Everything's down. Everything took a dive. I told you yesterday, all eyes on Powell. I told you that. All eyes on Powell. And what he delivered isn't as important as how he delivered it, right? Oh, we're just going to keep everything the same. I kind of figured he was going to keep everything the same. You can't go up. You can't go down. Status quo for right now. Perfect, right? But what he did say was, hey, we don't see any rates going up, which means rates could stay the same for longer, which is what he said previously. He surprised me because most of his conference, he was dovish. I was expecting hawkishness. But instead, he gave me something different. created an opportunity for me previous to that. And then after that, I bought a little bit more, even though things started popping up a little bit, because they're still below certain thresholds that I'm like, oh, yeah, no, that's still good. Bitcoin right now is still below my blue band. We'll show it. I'll show you later when we get into the numbers. But then I started looking at Bank of Japan. Bank of Japan wants to do a CBDC because the yen is hurting, so they got to do something. Population is dwindling. Yen is not doing well, like, at all. So it's something we definitely should be paying attention to. Japan used to be a powerhouse. Remember when Sony was everything, Japan was everything. They were running around buying up everything. Sounds like another Asian country. But when I look at Japan and the yen doing so poorly, I sit back and I just kind of go, yeah, doing a CBDC still makes sense. Right? Still makes sense. I could see how that could work for them in a positive fashion. What I'm interested in is how countries will regulate CBDCs. How will they control CBDCs? What are the rules around that? Because it's real quick to shut somebody's money off. When everybody switches to CBDCs or other electronic money, yeah, it's real fast, real easy. Look at what Tether did to Venezuela. Like, yeah, whatever you're doing, we're gonna abide by US sanctions, and whatever wallet you're mucking around with, you and whoever wants to buy oil from you, we're gonna shut those wallets down. Like, wow, that's a big deal. That right there is a very big deal. This is why we pay attention. This is why we do the research. But you know what we should do? We should get into the numbers. Just switching screens. That's all. Now, looking at these numbers, you sit back and you go, wow, there's a lot of upside, not much downside. Things are going up. You know what? Let's refresh. I haven't done this. I haven't refreshed since I started recording. So we could do a quick refresh. There you go. And, even better, look at that. Everybody knows my 5% rule. I don't pay attention to too many things that don't move, at 5% and below. That said, look at this. When I first started looking at Geo Bowden and the other one, Geo Bowden was at 444 million as a market cap. It's now 57% off its all-time high, but it's up 42%. So if you bought memes yesterday, I touched on this during the nighttime show that I do for members only. You should join. There's a lot going on in that conversation. We get deep into certain topics. You should really join. But looking at this, a lot of the memes started just popping up after that, right? Look at Dog with Hat, up 15%. Remember what I told you about that? About that sway, about that rhythm? You need to understand that rhythm. Because there's Dog with Hat up 15%, and there's Pepe right on its heels at 14%. Wow. Why are we not paying attention to these things? Solana was up 10%. Solana is one of the things I snatched into. Optimism was another one that I snatched into, right? Polygon I did not snatch into, but I already have a big bag, so that was my thing. I was like, I took some dry powder. I told you what I was going to do. I told you what my strategy was. If you don't recall, go watch yesterday's video and you'll see what I was talking about, right? Now, the fear and greed index, look at how much we dropped in a day. We went from 54 down to 43. We're in fear now. We're not even neutral. We're in fear. In 2 days, 2 or 3 days, we went from 70-something to 40-something. People freaked the hell out. Right now, I think people are starting to wake up and they're starting to go, oh, maybe we oversold. You think? Maybe we overreacted. You think? Yeah. A lot of people are waking up and kind of going, yeah, maybe we should fix that. Maybe I should go back and, get back in. I think that's what's going to happen. I think tomorrow is going to be a much better number. Total value locked, $108 billion. $108 billion. Real world assets, total value locked, reached an all-time new high, though, over $8 billion. just for real world assets, meaning tokenization. Yes, I'm paying attention to that. I'm definitely paying attention to that. So you know my blue band. My blue band goes from 57,686 to 63,714. And that's pretty much where we are. We're at the bottom of that blue band. We're at the bottom of that. And I said, you know, before I said 60, I said 55. We'll probably never see 55 again. And look at where we are. Look at where we are. We didn't see it, but we could have. We could have. And maybe this is the fight that we're seeing right now. Maybe this is the fight in Bitcoin that we're seeing right now, that we're not going to see 55. We'll see close to it, but we won't see it. If we did, I would just be buying more. Not even playing with you. Looking at a big board. Let's look at all this green, all this deep green. Solana. Even Matic is up. Polkadot is up. Avalanche is up. Shiba Inu up, but not as much. Pepe up big. Link is up. Uniswap is up. Just there are a lot of things with, like I said, up big. There are a lot of things out there that you could have done to start making money. Again, you can move in big fashion, right? I mean, if you're looking at Solana's at 135 right now. Just a little while ago, Solana was at like 124 and change. It would have had to double from that point to reach its all-time high of 250. This is what I'm talking about. If you just pay attention to what's out there, you can start to capture moments where you can make money. So yesterday, yeah, I went on a buying spree. Absolutely went on a buying spree. Bought some things that I didn't have, and I was like, oh, I want that. Bought some things that I already had, and I wanted more. Oh, I want that. And those are longer term holdings. So I snagged some Solana. I snagged some Optimism, some Bitcoin. I'm trying to recall if I did Ethereum. I didn't do Ethereum directly, right? But I bought other things. So we should be paying attention to what's out there, how money is moving, because look at that. From last night to right now, from yesterday to today, Solana's up huge. You could have made some nice bank off of Solana. More money than you would be making off your, annualized prime rate from a bank. Is that 0.01 what? Yeah. So I do pay attention to these things. What else is going on? You can see the year to date just kicks rocks. Right now, Bitcoin's at 37, Ethereum's at 31, BNB chain is at 78. Solana's at 33. Not everybody's doing all that hot. Doge is at 46. Toncoin. The heavens, I wanted to get into Toncoin, even though I can't stand Toncoin, I can't stand Telegram. But the money was right. And the heavens just would not let me purchase Toncoin. I was like, oh, okay. I tried it like 3, 4, 5 different ways. Universe was like, nah, son. Nah, go do something else. Go figure it out, young man. So I didn't get any. But it's up 110%. But look at that. I do have SHIB. Up 117. I tell you guys this because there are a lot of coins out there that will move better than Bitcoin. There are a lot of coins out there that will move better than Bitcoin. Hence, Bitcoin dominance has been lower. It's been a little bit lower. So pay attention out there. Do your research. Do your numbers. Understand what can help you grow your bag and help you make your decisions. Anyway, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. If you like what I'm doing, do me a favor. Send me a thanks. Join the community is what I really want you to do. Join the community. We're doing a lot during those lives that we do at night. We're doing a lot of conversation back and forth. And you know what? We have something else coming for all our members. Not just subscribers, but become a member. We have more coming for you guys. It's going to be special. Anyway, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. I hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.